Hello again, and welcome back to the channel. It's Hero here, and for today's video, we have a bit of a more spooky tone that I wish to convey. In the last video, we talked about how my high school had a literal cheating scandal. This time around, I thought we could have a little more fun and tap into the supernatural side of things, particularly tales and stories that have been spread about the campus itself from teachers and students alike from the past, present, and the potential future of both my secondary and primary years. Sit back and get comfortable as we delve into the creepy stories from my schooling years. When I was in my first year of secondary, my class had a science teacher whom we shall name Mr. Tony, for the sake of the story. Mr. Tony was your typical run-of-the-mill teacher. He never really stuck out and was for the most part just there teaching the syllabus in an honestly boring yet formulaic way, which I find to be indicative of the current day education system, but I digress. One day, however, he decided to let us in on something that most certainly wasn't anything relating to science, but rather something more gruesome and chilling. He had mentioned that the parking lot our school had, while vast and normal today, was once actually a site for the Japanese in World War II. A site where the residents of my country were being tortured way back when the invasion had struck Malaysia. He mentioned that one of the preferred torture methods conducted by the Japanese soldiers in the specific zone were that they strapped the victims onto a platform of sorts. Then, said victim would be forced to drink gallons upon gallons of water, all to the point where their stomachs will be on the brink of imploding on itself. Then, the soldier would proceed to step on said stomachs, making sure to watch and gleefully embellish themselves in sick sadistic pleasure, as they slowly and disgustingly defile, violate, and eventually kill the victim. All the while, vomit, blood, and other bodily fluids were being forcibly spewed out of the mouths and orifices of the tortured. We were all just in shock, seeing as how he said all of this so nonchalantly, and seemingly out of nowhere too. Before anyone could proceed to question anything, he continued by saying that there have been sightings according to other teachers and himself that one of the secondary building's highest floors, the 7th, was well known for housing a spirit of sorts, what they could only determine as a dark figure. Now, the building in question just so happened to have a bird's eye view of the parking lot in its entirety. If you were to head out to that very floor, you could see everything from up there. There supposedly have been accounts from teachers that clocked out of work late at night that just so happened to faintly see the dark figure whilst on the way to their car from the parking lot. No one could ever confirm what they were looking at, of course. No one knew exactly what this entity was either, whether it was a vengeful or lost spirit, and the legitimacy of the story that Mr. Tony had shared could easily just be chalked up to him trying to scare some preteens for the sake of laughs and giggles on his end. Now, I'm not really one to believe in the supernatural, but I will say this. We have just as much evidence about this story being completely fictitious as we do about it being completely factual. I went to a public/government school when I was in primary. The campus was gigantic, old, and in some respects, dilapidated in terms of its overall architecture and vibe. One glance and you could tell that this place, for better or for worse, had history. With a campus so big, it's no wonder that there would be many places considered to be haunted or contain some semblance of spiritual activity. One of the biggest contenders for acclaim, such as this, was what I would call the underground hallway. It was a part of the assembly hall that my school had, and from my memory, it had two entrances that both linked with each other. Meaning that if you were to head in from one of the entrances it had, you would of course come out through the other. Simple as that. However, it still did not dissuade people from talking about it. The hallway itself was long, vast, and echoic to a fault. The smell of old concrete permeated throughout whenever you went down there, due to ventilation being close to non-existent. It was akin to a liminal space, and within it had 2 bathrooms, one for male and female respectively. One thing that I always found weird was that whenever any one of us went down there as a challenge of courage of sorts, yes, that was a thing, every light except for the bathrooms would be turned off. So, what we would end up seeing when we were down there was a long expanse of darkness, and off to the side, a hint of light, aka the bathrooms, that contained very old fixtures. Most of anything metal down there had seen better days and have long since rusted. Some of the rumors that we would hear about said place was, typical elementary school kid stuff. Oh, ghosts, creepy crawlers, or anything of the sort that were, mentioned to lay dormant down there, and for the most part, it was just for the sake of shits and giggles. Just a way to scare each other and have more fun over the fact that the school was old. But then it got me thinking in a more realistic manner, I guess. Yeah, the school is and was old. If we're being honest with ourselves right now, it's due to the age of the school and how dated everything there appeared to be that it wouldn't be a long shot to say that at least one person had passed away on that site within the school's inception. And I understand that could basically be the case for anywhere, but I don't know. Pair that with the literal nightmare fuel that was the underground hallway, and the image just starts to feel a lot more vivid and even dreadful to think about. Like, the remains of someone could be beneath the grounds of those of the next generation. I don't know, it's kind of surreal in a really bad way. It's weird. Alright, that's basically all I have in terms of creepy stories. I'm just making this video for the sake of just sharing. If you guys have any paranormal stories that you would like to share, then please leave them in the comment section below. I would be more than happy to read them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.